and welcome to Doris's Kitchen. Today we're going to make banana oatmeal cookies. Yum, yum. Because we're getting ready for the holiday season. And what we're doing is we're starting to cook our cookies and make our platters because Christmas is only 2 weeks away. So we want to make sure that we have all the party things that we need. So cookies are definitely on the list. And the cookies you can make beforehand and then just stick them in the freezer. And then when you thaw them out, when you're ready for your party and everything, freezing them and then thawing them back out will make them even softer. Okay? So a lot of people like soft cookies. So we're going to do banana oatmeal cookies. First thing we need is our brown sugar. 2 cups of brown sugar. Now every good cook knows you better not forget your spoon. You need it. So my big stirring spoon I was forgetting. Okay. Then what you need next is 1 cup of shortening. So you have 2 cups of brown sugar. Now you're adding your shortening. One cup of shortening. I'll get the bird to respond to that pretty soon, huh? Yeah, see? He said yes. Birds keep you company during the day sometimes. All right, so there's your 1 cup of shortening. Okay, next thing you need is your 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, and let's see, a teaspoon of vanilla, which to me is always just a cap. You know, I'm from the old days and we didn't measure quite as much as everybody does today. Okay, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now remember, it's baking soda. So what I do to make these all different all the time is when I do a batch of cookies, because everybody likes a variety, I divide it up and do like a dozen of just plain, and then my next will be, I'm going to add my banana because it is banana oatmeal cookies. And I like to put all my soft ingredients first, you know, like the liquid stuff and the sugars and the shortening, and then mix it all up because it makes it easier for mixing. Okay. But what I like to do is, like the first dozen, do them just plain. Then my second dozen, I'll add a box of raisins. And then my third dozen, because a batch will pretty much do at least 3 dozen cookies. In my third batch, I'll add nuts. That way it gives you a variety of cookies using just 1 batch, you know, to make your trays more interesting, you know, because instead of just doing, oh God, I got to do a batch of just the plain ones, then a batch of this, then a batch of that. Well, this way here, you're dividing your batch into 3, and you're doing a variety of cookies to please everybody's taste at your party. Okay, so the first batch will be plain. The second batch will be with raisins. And the third batch, third dozen that you put in, will be with raisins and nuts. I myself like the raisin and nuts one. But a lot of people, especially if they have dental problems and stuff going on, they definitely don't want the nuts because it's going to get stuck in their teeth. And another thing about nuts, that if your party includes a lot of seniors, you may want to put all the cookies that you make that have nuts on a separate tray. And then put a little cardboard tag, you know, that says with nuts. Okay? Just because you don't want nobody choking at your party, you know, that wouldn't make for a good ending to any party. So keep in mind, you know, if you're going to have seniors that their eating abilities may have changed as they got older. There we go. Okay, now I saved my last two hard ingredients for the end. You notice this is pretty much the way it's going to look. Kind of like a little bit of a mess there. Okay, so what you're going to add now is 4 cups of your oats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay! Okay. I like the old-fashioned oatmeal. Remember when we were kids, they used to have bowls in them and plates in them, and you know, so that added to the dishes, especially when you have a large family. And we were 9 kids, so we were a family of 11 on the farm. So all those bowls, extra bowls and cups and saucers, they added up. Had some pretty nice design too, you know, festive. Here we go. Okay. Now when you're doing all the dry ingredients, you kind of want to do one step at a time. It helps to mix it up better. There we go. And see, you really got a lot in here, you know. So you're going to have your 3 dozen. So make it so your trays will be, you know, a nice variety of different cookies. You know, and if you want to, you can, you know, make the little cardboards. You know, they have cardboards in a package of nylon that's white cardboard. And just fold them over and put what kind of cookie they are, because you don't want nobody wasting food. You know, I was raised in the days where they always said, eat all your supper and eat all your food, because there are kids on the other side of the world that are starving. And that's still true today, but people are wasteful. They take a bite of something, they don't like it, so you're going to have a nice big family party. You don't want to see all your hard baking, cooking, and work in the trash because they tried something and it wasn't what they thought. So, good to label. Okay, now the only thing left is my flour. I need 1 3/4 cup of flour. Ooh. Okay. One and about 3. We estimate a lot. That's part of the old ways of cooking. Kept your taste buds going. You never knew exactly how it was going to be. Always a little bit different. Sometimes a little bit more sugar, sometimes a little bit less. Depends what was left in the cupboards, right? Okay. Make sure you get the flour all in there real good. By now that shortening is pretty well spread it all over to make things more even. Okay, so I've already made my first batch so I could show you the end result for my samples and plenty of people to eat, you know, because sometimes you need some to eat right away, you know, and stuff, and then you need to put some away for the holidays because you got kids in the house, you know. All right, so I'm going to add one of my Sun-made boxes of raisins to my batch. I love raisins. They're really good. They're good for you. And this is one of the soft foods for everybody. Okay. So now I can add raisins, because remember, the other half of this batch, because I've already done my single batch, but you can, my plain banana oatmeal cookies, but you can, you know, beforehand you could have made, you know, 1 whole dozen of just the plain cookies, and then add your raisins. Okay, so now I'll do a tray, a dozen, because cookie sheets carry a dozen cookies, with the raisins. And then after that, for the next batch, I'll add my walnuts. I just crunched them all right up from a bag of walnuts. And then I'll add that in for the next one. There we go. Boy, this looks good. Okay, and this is to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay. And then, let me get another spoon. You just use one of your serving spoons. Give it a nice little bundle like this. And then put it right on your cookie sheet. Now remember, to do these cookies, it's an ungreased cookie sheet. You know, some of them, they want you to grease a little bit. Some they don't. This is a don't one. Alright? So you just place them all on, and you bake them at 375. So when you're ready to start putting them on your cookie sheet, turn your oven on, because you want to save energy too. So put it on only then. You'll have plenty of time. And, you know, because if it hasn't beeped yet to say it's warmed up, well, you can start cleaning up some of your mess here. Okay? And you bake it at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes. It pretty much depends on how your oven bakes for you. You know, so that's one thing you need to always remember when you're cooking and baking, that if it says, you know, just so many minutes, you know, sometimes it's best to check it all out a couple minutes before the end time, because it really depends on how your oven's working for you. This recipe says 8 to 10 minutes, and since I've already done my first batch and I definitely know about my oven, this one needs a whole 10 minutes. There we go. And you know, this is something, you know, if you have teenagers and stuff, you know, set aside a day to turn around and say, okay, on Saturday you have no school, it's our baking for Christmas Day, you know, so have them up at a decent hour and start your cookie baking. That way you have some help and you're doing something together for the holidays, and that's always good. Try to make sure they're about all the same size too. This one needs a little bit more. There you go. And here you are. There is your cookies. And if you want to see the end result, here we have a banana oatmeal cookies. All right. This is the end result. So I want to wish you all happy holidays. Remember your seniors, if you have some in the neighborhood and everything, to make a little gift package of some of your goodies that you bake and bring it over to them to cheer the holidays for them too. Bye-bye now.